Have you ever thought about hands and what all they can do for you, with you, and with those you care about? My name is Sam, and I am the community host and founder of Safe Heart Connections. And I want to tell you a story about hands today. A few years ago, I had a situation happen to me in my life that was pretty devastating. It actually, if you know my story at all, I've lived through some trauma, an abusive marriage, and lots of bad choices on my own. And this truly was the worst thing I've ever lived through. It didn't actually happen to me. It happened to someone I loved. And it was and is still a big deal. And it's been almost 6 years now. And when I think about that time in my life, it's still hard. And I know I made it through. I have a 100% track record of making it through the good days and the not so good days. How the hands play in is there was a really close group of people in my world at that time. And I decided I wanted to share what happened with them as part of my healing process and asking for help. And we were crying and it was awful. I wanted to mark that moment, but I didn't want to take a picture. And so somehow I came up with the idea of taking a picture of our hands. And that photo still means a whole lot to me. One of the gentlemen that was in that picture passed away a couple years ago. Suddenly he had a heart attack. And he was definitely one of the people in my world that I knew I could depend on. Recently, my daughter and grandkids went through a tragic loss. And I was able to share the story of the hands with my grandkids. And it was a pretty cool moment. I was able to pass on something I had learned that helped me. And what those hands symbolize, what the hands mean, is when you're going through life, having a community around you that can support you, that can lift you up, that can hold you, that can carry you. There's going to be days that happen that you're not going to have the energy to do what needs to be done. And so when you have people in your world that can be the hands to hold you, to support you, to guide you, and to know that you can trust them because they are in your corner. The cool thing I got to do with my grandkids was ask them that week that they were dealing with this stuff. And it's going to continue on. It was a death in the family, and they were very close with her. I got to ask them, though, who are the people that came to help? And they started listing off all these names of people in their world that love them, care for them, and are concerned with how they're doing. And just to watch their faces light up as they mention these people's names was amazing. It's a good reminder for us to build that community while you can. Build the community, the people that are going to be your supporters, that are going to be in your corner, that whenever something happens, you are able to call and say, hey, I need somebody to listen. And you have those people in your corner. That's part of what Safe Heart Connections is. I work with women to help them learn how to love themselves, but the connections that you make, if you actually show up, participate, come on the group calls, and do the lessons and that kind of thing, then you're able to make some real life connections, even though it's virtual. Being able to share that experience with my grandkids and then to take a picture of all of our hands on top of each other, that was a magical moment. And so I'm curious, do you have a group of people that you can call your hands that'll be there to help carry you when needed?